Beatrice and Eugenie reveal Mum Ferguson's true character before relationship collapsed. Welcome back to Crown Chronicles, the home of royal revelations, untold truths, and all the behind-the-scenes stories from inside Britain's most famous family. Crown, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and tap that notification bell, because today's story pulls back the curtain on one of the most emotional chapters in modern royal history, a story of love, loyalty, and heartbreak between a mother and her daughters. For years, Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, affectionately known as Fergie, has been both celebrated and criticized. She's the fiery redhead who brought laughter, spontaneity, and controversy into the royal family. She was adored by her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, who have always stood by her side through every scandal, every headline, and every public humiliation. But according to recent reports, things may not be as picture-perfect as they once seemed. In a surprising new revelation, royal insiders claim that Beatrice and Eugenie have started to speak openly, albeit privately, about their mother's true character, offering a rare glimpse into what life was really like growing up under the shadow of royal scandal. Before their once-tight relationship began to show cracks, the York sisters reportedly described Fergie as fun, emotional, and fiercely loyal, but also impulsive and often unpredictable. To understand how things reached this point, we need to rewind the clock. Sarah Ferguson's entry into the royal family in 1986 was like a breath of fresh air. She was down-to-earth, funny, and unapologetically herself, a striking contrast to the formal, reserved demeanor of palace life. Prince Andrew fell hard for her, and for a time, it looked like the monarchy had found its next great love story. But as the years went on, cracks began to form. Scandals, from financial mishaps to infamous tabloid photos, began to define Fergie's public image. She was separated from Prince Andrew by 1992, divorced by 1996, and slowly distanced from official royal duties. Through it all, Beatrice and Eugenie became her anchors, her two greatest defenders in a world that often seemed determined to tear her down. Insiders say the princesses adored their mother's warmth and resilience, but as they grew older and more aware of royal protocol, they began to see the complexities behind the woman the world knew as Fergie. She was the doting, hands-on mum who read bedtime stories and made pancakes on school mornings, but she was also the impulsive figure who could say the wrong thing at the wrong time, creating headlines that affected not only her reputation but theirs. Sarah has always been larger than life. One palace insider once said, "She's the kind of mother who would embarrass you and then make you laugh about it 5 minutes later." Beatrice and Eugenie loved that energy growing up, but as adults, it's harder when that energy draws criticism. Fast forward to the past few years, and the dynamic between Fergie and her daughters appears to have shifted. The York sisters, now respected women in their own right, wives, mothers, and working royals in the public eye, are navigating a delicate balance. They love their mother deeply, but they also understand the weight of royal reputation in a world where every move is analyzed. What triggered the recent strain? Sources point to a combination of factors. First, Sarah's involvement in ongoing controversies surrounding Prince Andrew reportedly caused tension. While Beatrice and Eugenie have continued to support their father privately, they've become more cautious about public associations that could reignite negative headlines. When Fergie continued to speak out in interviews, sometimes defending Andrew, sometimes alluding to family tensions, the sisters allegedly felt it was time to pull back. There was also Fergie's much-talked-about comeback attempts, from book deals to public events, that sometimes overshadowed the quieter, more measured approach the sisters have tried to adopt. Eugenie, especially, who has been praised for her humanitarian work and for maintaining a dignified, low-profile presence, reportedly found some of her mother's public behavior difficult. Yet, despite whispers of tension, one thing remains clear: the bond between Beatrice, Eugenie, and Sarah Ferguson is built on deep love and shared resilience. They've been through years of public scrutiny, media betrayal, and royal exclusion together. They understand what it means to be outsiders within the royal system, and that shared experience has forged an emotional connection that no headline can truly erase. Still, royal insiders say that in recent months, Beatrice and Eugenie have reassessed their relationship with their mother, not to distance themselves out of disloyalty, but to define healthy boundaries. Both sisters have families of their own now. Beatrice is raising her daughter Sienna, and Eugenie is mother to 2 little boys. They're carving out lives that blend royal heritage with modern values, and as one source put it, they can't afford to carry every storm their parents stir up. Those who know Fergie well describe her as both hurt and understanding. Sarah adores her girls, says a close friend. She knows they love her deeply, but she also understands they need space to build their own paths. She's been there before, she knows what it's like to be judged, and she doesn't want that for them. It's a painful but relatable evolution, the moment when children grow up, step into their own identities, and begin to see their parents as complex, flawed human beings. For Beatrice and Eugenie, that realization has been amplified by fame, tradition, and the ever-present lens of royal expectation. Their revelations about Fergie's true character, shared with close friends and hinted at in private conversations, don't come from resentment, but from reflection. They reportedly describe her as the most loving, creative, and misunderstood person they know. They recall her sense of humor, her generosity, her wild imagination, but also acknowledge her habit of acting first and thinking later, a trait that has cost her dearly over the years. What's most striking about this story isn't the tension, but the humanity behind it. Sarah Ferguson, despite her mistakes, remains a devoted mother. And Beatrice and Eugenie, despite their challenges, remain loving daughters trying to balance royal duty with personal integrity. In many ways, their relationship mirrors the story of modern royalty itself, imperfect, evolving, and deeply human. The days of stiff upper lips and polished facades are fading. Today's royals are showing emotion, vulnerability, and truth. Beatrice and Eugenie's honesty about their mother's strengths and struggles reflects a new era of authenticity, one that invites understanding rather than judgment. As for whether the collapse in their relationship is permanent, sources close to the family insist it's not. They're family. They love each other too much to walk away, one insider said. But they're learning how to love each other in a new way, as adults, as parents, and as people living in the shadow of a very public past. So, what do you think, royal watchers? Has Fergie's larger-than-life personality finally caught up with her, or is this just another chapter in a long, complicated, and unbreakable family story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Crown Chronicles and turn on notifications for more royal insights, emotional family dramas, and exclusive stories from inside the world's most famous dynasty. Because when it comes to the royal family, every smile, every silence, and every story tells a truth the crown can't hide.